Hi there, here's a quick card tutorial that teaches you how to make paper roses. You can make it using any coordinating papers that you might have. I'm using crepe papers on trend, which I happened to treat myself to at the weekend. You start by punching out 3 circles, roughly 1 3/4 inches in diameter. You can use any punch, or if you haven't got a punch, you could use a die or just draw around something that's about the right diameter. Then you're going to take your scissors and, starting at the outside edge, you're going to cut each of the circles into a spiral shape. Keep cutting until you end up with a small dot left in the middle. You're going to repeat that spiral cut on all 3 circles, and then you're going to start the next step, which is to fold over the outside edge all the way around the spiral. It's only a small fold and it's quite random, you don't have to be too neat. And you just keep working and turning your paper so that you keep folding on the very outside edge of the spiral, again stopping roughly when you get to that dot in the middle. When you've finished, it's going to look something like this. Then you're going to start at the very point of the spiral on the outside edge, and you're going to roll, which is a little bit tricky at first, as you can see, to get it going. You're going to roll the spiral along its length, so you're literally going to keep rolling the paper, keeping the fold over on the outside, and roll towards the middle. Keep rolling until you reach the little dot in the middle. That's the piece we're going to secure our paper rose to. First of all, let the spiral you just made relax a little, and then you're going to take some PVA glue. I'm using the Cosmic Shimmer Dries Clear glue, and then you put a little bit onto the dot that you left in the middle of your spiral, and then you're going to push down with your fingers on top of your rose to secure it to that centre section. Now at this point you can just play with the spiral a little bit until you get it into a nice rose shape, something like that. When you're happy with it, you're going to need to just put something heavy like your punch on top of it for a little while it dries. And when it dries, it's nice and secure and you've got a lovely paper rose. I'm working on a card base that measures 5 3/4 inches square, and I've chosen black because it goes with the papers that I've chosen to work with. So you pick a card base that coordinates with the papers that you're going to use. Then we're going to cover the front of the card with 2 coordinating papers. I'm inking the edges with black distress ink, black soot, and everything's attached with double-sided tape. Now using a piece of double-sided tape, and I suggest you use strong tape rather than normal double-sided tape, because I found that the ribbon lifted off this tape and I had to go back and use some glue to secure the ribbon. So you're going to ruche the first part of the ribbon, and then you're going to leave the ribbon flat underneath where the roses are going to be attached, because you don't want too much bulk. You trim your ribbon off, and then to stop it fraying I added a little bit of clear glue to the end of my ribbon. Once your ribbon's in place, you're ready to make your greeting. Again, I'm using 2 Stampin' Up punches, one that nests inside the other, and I've always got a sheet of greetings handy. This time I'm going to use Thanks a Bunch, so I'm just going to punch that out with my punch, and then I'm going to ink the edges again with black soot distress ink. Then taking my coordinating punch and a piece of black cardstock, I'm going to cut out the black background ready for my greeting. If you don't have the items that I've used, then you can use stamps and other dies to cut out your greeting and its background. However you choose to make your greeting, the next thing you're going to do is attach it to your card using foam pads. To make an inner for your card, take a piece of coordinating paper, fold it in half and trim it so that it fits neatly inside your card. Again, I'm using the black distress ink to ink the edges of my inner, and I've also stamped a greeting using a black Adirondack ink pad. Once all the edges were inked, I took 3 small strips of coordinating papers that matched the front of my card and attached them to the right hand edge of the inner. One of the strips I've cut with decollage scissors, as you can see. All of them attached with double-sided tape, and then all of them trimmed to fit. Fold the inner closed and attach a piece of double-sided tape to the fold edge of the inner. Place it on the inside of the card so that it sits centrally, and then it's just slightly to the left of the fold so that when you close the card it doesn't push the inner forward. Close the card so that it sticks to the double-sided tape, and then you'll find that when you open the card, the inner opens at the same time to reveal the greeting within. Now we're going to make some leaves. So you're going to concertina a piece of coordinating paper. I'm using a stripe. The reason I'm concertinaing it 3 times is because I want to cut 3 leaves out at the same time. Now, paying attention to the size that your roses have turned out and taking any sticky bits off your scissors. I've still got some on there, but I think I can cope. And we're going to cut 3 leaves out in one go. So just roughly cutting out the shape of a leaf. Check that they're in proportion to your roses, and then we're ready to do a bit more inking. So taking each leaf and folding it in half, just ink along the fold just to give it a little bit of a vein line along the centre of the leaf, and then open the leaves out and ink around the edges. You're going to repeat that on all 3 leaves, and then you're going to curve them slightly, ready to stick them to the front of your card. I also added a little bit of ink as I've inked everything else to my 3 roses. Then you're going to position the roses on your card until you're happy with how they look. Again, just inserting the leaves where you think they look nice. As you can see, we're working on the flat piece of the ribbon, and that'll make it much easier to attach our roses. And I think I'm happy with this layout, and then I'm going to take each of the roses and attach them one by one with a daub of Pinflair glue gel. You can use any make of silicone glue. I'm just adding a little dot to the bottom of each rose. You could even use foam pads if you want to. Obviously the silicone glue is going to take a little bit longer to dry, and then you're going to put a little bit of Pinflair under each of the leaves and tuck them into your rose arrangement. One final touch of pink bling just to finish this card design off. I'm using glossy accents to attach the gems, and I've added 2 gems to the greeting and 5 little gems to the base of the card. And as you can see, it needed great concentration because my fringes popped into view. So I hope you have a go at making this and like this fun design. You can use any papers you like, and I think you'll agree the paper roses were easy to make and they look fab.